Welcome to Talk Around Riyadh, the Wheel of Time showcast. I am your host, Joe Perry, here with my co-host, Jen Isgro, and special welcome back to co-host Tom Kokoza. Jen,
Special welcome back.
a special welcome, not just a welcome back, a special one. What makes it special?
I mean, you put the banner up behind me. I was really
He's in
appreciative
a
of
different
that.
location.
Yeah. We put up a banner. We sent a banner to his house and put it up behind him. Jen, how are you?
I'm good. Had a trunk or treat tonight, which I feel like I talked about and can't believe that was a year ago on this show, and I talked about the last trunk or treat.
Yeah.
But did it again this year. It was fun, and I'm exhausted, but I got my coffee and I'm ready to talk Wheel of Time.
Need some of that candy there to give you a nice little jolt.
Yeah, I should have had a couple of Twix bars. Those are my favorite.
Tom, it's been a while. How you doing?
All right. So I had about a COVID 2 weeks ago. Did the show with it, but I was in isolation at that point. Didn't work. My wife came down with it afterwards, and she's been sick for like 2 weeks. So she's in isolation still now because my youngest son never got it. I'm trying to keep it that way, and so my recording area also doubles as an isolation room for people who are sick with COVID in our house. So
You need to build an isolation chamber in the house.
yeah, it's called my basement, and as such, I'm recording in our living room.
Do you have like the instead of like a door or whatever, you have like strips, like plastic strips that hang down that you walk through and then like a chamber where like the disinfectant sprays you,
like Western
between?
beef?
Like a decompression chamber?
No, we don't have any of that. It's just
Well, that's where you failed, Tom. You need a
I'm sure that's
disinfectant
what I
chamber.
Are you lowering food down to her like a pulley system?
No, no, we're not.
Like a dumb.
Is there a dumbwaiter, a robot maybe involved?
We do have the robot that Paulie had in Rocky IV in the house, but he can't make it down the stairs.
Do you have a DJ Roomba?
No, I'm
Food going down the stairs.
It just falls down the stairs. The food goes everywhere.
Oh, what did you do?
I just have a giant pillow at the bottom of the stairs, and I just throw the food down, like softly though, and
Gently,
lob it down so it lands
Just like
gently.
biscuits and stuff.
It's
Nothing
like-
that can really, nothing that can get ruined.
Apples, biscuits, bags of
Here's a
potato
nice beef
chips.
stew. Oh no!
Oh boy, we've got a lot to talk about. We're getting back into it. We had our awards.
It doesn't sound like it.
We had our awards ceremony last week. We've got so much news to talk about. That's how much news we have to talk about. We're not going to be able to talk about everything that we missed, but we've got a lot. We figured let's break it up, right? We've got a lot of casting news. So we're going to talk about all the casting news. There was a lot, especially recently, but we also missed some during the run of the show. So we're going to hit all that casting news, and then we're going to go back and look at our predictions on some of the unconfirmed castings that were still out there for season 2, and we're going to see how we did with our predictions. So let's just get right into it. This is a full spoiler episode, everyone. We're back to full spoilers. So if you have not read the books, I would recommend not listening to this podcast at the moment and going and reading all of the books and then coming back. So
See you in a few months.
see you in a few months. So let's start it off. So this was back in early September, actually. Watt Series had reported a new actor for season 3, Rob McLaughlin, as the character Jack Lunault, which kind of sounds like a character from like...
Yeah, I'm very excited that Twin Peaks is crossing over with the Wheel of Time. I'm pretty sure that's the guy who ran the One-Eyed Jacks. I'm not sure.
I was thinking maybe like he could have been from Les Mis or something like that.
Yeah, very French kind of vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is actually a character. So when I saw this, I was like, is this like some new made-up character? And then I was like, no, it's actually a real character in the books. He was a Tarabonner who was Aramilla's personal secretary. So we know Aramilla was one of the nobles who I think was vying for, was it in Camelin, I think, right? Yeah. He actually, in reality, acted as a private questioner and torturer. And he freed, if you remember later on, some of the Black Ajah were prisoners, I think, in Camelin. Elaine had captured them. They had captured them and put them, locked them up. And he was the one who freed them. So this is an interesting character to put in season 3. We feel like we're going to Camelin, right? We heard there was reports of the lion throne, the banner of Andor hanging in. We think those are Elida scenes. So maybe he's going to be in Camelin. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
I honestly don't even remember this character at all.
No, I don't
And it's
remember
probably
his-
because I haven't gotten up to it on my reread.
Yeah.
But
He doesn't show up until Crossroads of Twilight. That's his first
Yeah.
appearance. So way late.
The only thing I'm thinking is that he's a Tarabonner, and we do know they're going to Tanchico. So maybe they're going to relocate him to his homeland.
Oh, yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah, maybe he's like a servant of the Panarch or the king of Tanchico. Is the king they had, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget his name. And then what? And then later he's in Camelin, or they just like they're just taking the character name and like repurposing it, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think
Be
he could
somebody
do
else.
both. He would have to be
Yeah.
one or the other, I would assume, right? He'd either have to be a Camelin servant or a Tarabonner servant.
He's such
I
a
don't know.
small
Yeah.
character that it could be it could be the kind of thing again that they've just taken a character name and repurposed it for another part as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Not much to say more on this character, just because he is a small role and we don't know. We know they're going to Tanchico and we're likely to see Camelin, so he fits in both of those locations, more so in Camelin. So I'm gonna say he's in Camelin, but who knows? We heard Black Aja, right? He was kind of working with the Black Aja, and we're likely going to get Black Aja on Tanchico, so maybe he
Yeah,
does.
but not in Camelin, right?
Yeah, so maybe we do. I don't know. This is a tough one. We'll call it later, but interesting casting. Wasn't expecting Jacques Lunault to be one of the characters cast in the series. So, all right. So moving on, later on in October, What Series reported that Marin Alvear was recast with actor Rena Mahoney. So if you remember, Lolita Chakrabarty played Marin Alvear in season 1. According to the article, quote, due to a clash of timings of her projects in the West End and on Broadway as a playwright, sadly, she was unable to continue her role as Marin Alvear in Wheel of Time. The actor's publicist told What Series in a statement. So that's sad.
Mm.
Yeah. I like the Lolita Chakrabarty. She's only in one episode, though. So this will probably be a seamless transition
Yeah, and I
for most
know
people, not us, but
yeah, and I've seen her before, Rena Mahoney. I feel like I don't know what specifically from, but she was in Hollyoaks, an episode of Hollyoaks, some episodes of Doctors, a bunch of episodes of Emmerdale Farm. Not really familiar with that, but
Doctors is like Law and Order.
there you go.
Like I feel like everybody's on that show.
And she was also in Wednesday. She was in 2 episodes of Wednesday. I don't.
Yes. Oh, I did look that up. She was like a mom of a. If anybody saw Wednesday, I can't remember the character's name, but the boy that Wednesday was friends with. Did you watch Wednesday?
Yes, I did.
The kid with the bees.
Oh yes.
When he's in the hospital and his moms are there. She's one of them.
Oh, okay.
She sees Wednesday in the hospital.
Gotcha.
Bees.
Yeah, I don't.
Finally knew someone from something.
Yeah, so I mean, it's sad that Lolita Chakrabarty is not going to be able to come back. We kind of expected Marin Alvear to show up in the next season, as we believe it's mostly going to be following The Shadow Rising, and the parent goes back to the Two Rivers. So
2 Rivers.
I wonder if we'll get another yell of that.
Sure, they'll be previously on.
Yeah.
Also in that article, What Series reported that Maria Doyle Kennedy, Narinda Samra, and Daryl McCormack will be returning in season 3, playing the Tinkers Illa, Rain, and Aram. Although this is unconfirmed by production. So interesting, right? We know there are Tinkers in The Shadow Rising. I don't remember. Is it Illa, Rain, and
Yeah.
well, not
Yeah.
Aram?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Is
that's
it
how
Aaron?
Aaron becomes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's when he
Oh
becomes.
my God! Yes.
Dude.
Joseph.
Oh, sorry. Listen, it's been a long day. I did a lot of yard work today, so I'm tired.
McLutes. Yes,
That's when they do is it the Sassara? Do they teach her this? Does she dance the Sassara?
The Taganza is
Taganza.
No,
they
Taganza
dance
is
the
in the
Ganza
first-
in either world.
Yeah.
No, with Fail.
Fail says, I'll show you the Cesara one day. And that's parents fighting They get ambushed by the Trollocs. Like, he tried to set an ambush with the Trollocs flying.
Yeah, he gets really hurt, and then they meet them with the Tinkers.
They meet with the Tinkers, and then he tries to convince the Tinkers to come back.
There's some kind of dancing, because I remember, like,
Perrin's just
all
really
the other boys
hurt.
are, like, embarrassed by it or something.
Oh, yeah, they dancing for the other people. Yeah. What you call it? Yeah, and then Perrin tries to convince them to come back, and he tries to use his Taviran-ness, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then they get, like, wiped out.
They come back later. Right?
And then that's when Aram, like, picks up the sword and is shunned by his family.
They might not even need that, because he watched they all got attacked already, and he got, like, knocked unconscious. And the girl that he liked got kidnapped. So I feel like that's a same kind of
That's it.
Similar thing to what happens there.
So are we going to get the Aram storyline?
The fact that Tara McCormick is coming back on this show after having some success outside of the show since season 1 leads me to believe that is it. Like, Aram's going to be a recurring character on the show going forward. I think that I don't know. I don't think he would come back if it was just he'd be done after this season or something to that effect.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great. Go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, we were going to say the same thing. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
Yeah, I think it is. It's a really good storyline. It's a meaty part, and it's a part that I think you can flesh out more for the screen if necessary, without disrupting the plot too much. Because he's always there, and you can just make it, kind of. He's the dark reflection of like what Perrin's afraid of like losing himself to violence and losing himself to his darker impulses.
You mean the storyline they really, really took a big whiff on in the first 2 seasons? Because Perrin's clearly got no problem with violence. He's murdering people every season. So.
Every season.
It's got no problems with violence.
He does feel bad about it afterwards, usually.
Oh, okay. Well, most people do. Not all people.
Not serial killer Perrin Ibarra.
Really struggling with his violent side there. Just killing people left and right.
You don't understand. That guy killed his dog.
It's true. It's a John Wick scenario right there.
It's true.
They didn't steal his car. If they stole his horse or something too, his favorite horse, then I think that would put everything in place there. I'm excited that they're coming back, though. I'm very excited that Maria Doyle Kennedy's coming back. I imagine she's going to, not that she's going to have a big part, but I feel like she's going to have some heavy involvement, or at least some great scenes we'll probably get of her like we did in the first season. So,
can you imagine her grief at Aram picking up the sword?
Yeah,
and like her.
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
Do that to her.
Do you think we get like her or Rain getting killed, and that's what provokes Aram to pick up the sword? Because the show they seem like they have to throw in all these like really obvious things to make people understand what's going on. Like we can't just have it be subtle.
Maybe.
No one wants to throw a hot take out there.
I'm not ready yet.
Hot take: Maria Doyle Kennedy's going to die in season 3. You heard it here first.
Oh my God!
Okay.
No.
I think
Perrin's going to kill her. Perrin's going to murder her.
Perrin's going to murder her. Oops.
No. No, I think she's going to get killed by a Trolloc or something, or a White Cloak, and that's what's
every other season he kills someone by accident. So like the odd seasons, and then the even seasons he kills someone on purpose.
Okay.
He's due to kill.
He's going to kill a lot of people. I mean, they're monsters. He's going to kill a lot of monsters in the next season.
Yeah. I'm excited that they're coming back, though. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Also, in that same article, there were some actors spotted in Slovenia. Priyanka Bose, who plays Alana, Taylor Napier, who plays Maxim, and Raga Ragnars, and Maya Simonson, who played Bane and Chiad. So that all tracks with the book storylines, right? Because they're back. They're in the Two Rivers. So that's interesting. Bane and Chiad are going to be there? So I'm assuming they go back with Perrin. Why would they go to Two Rivers with Perrin? Oh, because they've met him already. But then, like, what happens?
He's gonna figure it out.
Avienda's like, okay, I'm gonna go back to the waste with these people because I guess the wise ones call her back. I guess.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, remember how it happens in the books is Perrin like asks for any Aiel that's willing to come with him to fight to come, and Gaul.
But there's like a whole. But that's
So you can
because
just make
there's
a
a
beta G
whole
ad.
army of
Right.
there's a whole army of Aiel though in tier at that point. Now
Right.
there's not an army, but a large contingent of Aiel. But I guess
it could be the kind of
Or
thing
Rand
where
could ask them to go with him.
or
like,
Avienda can
they're there
say,
for him.
I can't go. Will you, as my spear sisters, like fulfill my duty?
Yes, fulfill my toe.
yeah, I think that's what we're gonna get. I think you're right. I think that's what we're gonna get.
Which
So
I mean, again, I don't. This it really doesn't look like Gaul's on the show, which sucks.
I don't think it's 100% yet. I think he might still be on the show. It might not be the same way, the same character,
Well,
but
Yeah, no.
there's going to be a lot of Aiel in this coming up season. So
I mean, they could
we
start
might still see him.
they could start the season, and we find out that like there were more Aiel out there, and they're all in Falm now too.
Yeah, I mean, there weren't just 4. They didn't send 4 over the wall, and one of them
Yeah.
died. Like, there's more Aiel other places, right? You had the one in the first season that was dead.
Oh, who are the 4 you're talking about?
Well, the
The
one,
Oh,
3
the
of
one
them
they
that
buried.
the one
Okay.
that buried.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the one from the first season.
I don't know.
do we get there was no reports of Mirasayal in Slovenia. Are we going to get Varen going there too, you think? Or has Varen got another storyline to follow?
I don't know. I can't commit to anything anymore now.
That's all we do.
No,
is
what's the
commit
point?
Anybody
to wrong
anybody could be anywhere. It's way too far away for us to start speculating.
Oh, it's great
Except
to
it's
speculate.
not. That's
now.
our entire show.
Yeah, I would say she's there. I think it's too important. I think for her to like that. That's I think her one opportunity to be with Perrin.
Yeah. I hope we get her there. It'll be, I mean, yeah. I guess one more thing too then. Are we going to get Maxim dying or Yvonne dying or either of them?
I would guess Yvonne.
You think they're going to switch it up and kill him off? Although he was so much cooler this season. He had a lot more dialogue and...
Was there a rumor that actor is like not playing him anymore or something? Or was it on the show?
Yeah, there was a
wasn't there-
rumor because people
And
see
he wasn't
pictures.
in episode 8?
I think it was
What?
more. I think it was just really driven by the fact that like there's pictures of Taylor Napier with blanking on her name Priyanka,
Priyanka?
but
Priyanka.
he's not in them.
No, but somebody, I never went back to watch it again, but somebody in our chat was saying that like when the whole group of people are outside before Maureen and Lan and Rand go to the Waygate,
Mhm.
that he's not there, and they thought that like he
They thought
died or left the show or something.
they thought Tomas killed him, right? There was like a thing about like, oh, Tomas must have killed him. But
Right, no, but
but he
right,
was
because
there.
he followed Tomas.
But he was
But
there
then
after.
Tomas was there.
yeah, but he was.
Tomas was there.
But I think he was also there at one point too. Like he shows back
I don't
up.
know. I didn't remember that if I saw him there or not. But
Yeah.
I know people were saying that.
Maybe he was taking the pictures of Priyanka and Taylor Napier.
Yeah.
But I mean, all of this is leading us to the the stories that we know and love in book 4. So it sounds like they're gonna go somewhat on book with that
In
storyline.
chat, they're clarifying this. There was pictures of headshots behind Priyanka Bose, and it looked like there's a possibility that like there was a different headshot for Ivan there, and
Okay.
then Watts series apparently also reported that there's a possibility that actor had some scheduling conflicts and didn't come back, although that's not confirmed.
Okay.
So then, if that's if that does happen, then I guess they would just kill him off then, and keep Taylor.
Yeah. Also,
Napier,
I mean,
keep
I don't
Max
mean,
around.
like, I don't think this is the reason why you would or wouldn't do something, but like Taylor Napier is going to be around anyway,
Well,
right?
he does other. I mean, he's his own man, right? I'm sure he
I
does
don't-
other stuff.
Yes, yes, he's on his man. I'm just saying, like, you know,
Rafe, what are you doing?
Maybe he'll stay in Prague and do some more Shakespeare.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
I hope he does.
Older person Shakespeare. Older person Romeo and Juliet story.
Yeah.
They're not old.
Oh, I
Just
said
not
older.
kids.
That sounds
They're
even
not
older than old.
13.
No, I meant older than like the the characters. Not if I said old person, then I feel like that's worse. Whatever. More casting news. This just I think last week. So Watt series reported Nuno Lopez, Teresa Duskova, and Raksha Hoost joining the growing cast of season 3. Teresa was listed as Migrin, who I believe is an Aiel that we see in in book 4. She's one of the Aiel, I think, in Rand's visions of the past, the history of the Aiel.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's really close to Migan, but
Yeah.
okay.
Migraine.
Migraine.
Well, Migan's dead, so it's just, I don't
I
think
know,
anyone
there's
will
no
be confused
confusion, I guess.
anymore. Yeah. So is this our confirmation that we're going to get the crystal column scene of the
Yes,
history
we're
of the
getting
IL?
the crystal columns.
Yeah.
How are they going to
Which-
do that to make it not so confusing, do you think?
I don't think they mind if it's confusing. I'm very, very confident that when Rosman referred to, we filmed something that was very avant-garde recently in regards to season 3 filming, that she was talking about that. I think it's going to be really out there. And you'll get the important pieces of information, but like you won't know what the hell's going on for a large portion of it. I think that's fine.
I think we'll get like a Nynaeve's Accepted Test episode maybe where there's just no cold open and it's just like a half hour. The first half hour of the episode is just that.
I think it might be like the whole middle of it. I really do think, and I've been saying this for a while, like, and who knows, but I think that Roydian should be an episode. Like there should be no B plot, C plot, D plot. It should just be what goes on in that in that. It starts in with they get in, like that's you know either that's the cliffhanger of the episode before or whatever, or like that's how it begins, and it ends with them leaving, and that's it. It's a ball episode, just what happens in there, which is not really like it's not a true ball episode because one of them goes to a magical alternate dimension and the other one goes through time. But I think that should be it. I don't think you should see what anybody else is doing while that's going on.
Matt and Rand episode?
That's if the fins are happening, which I don't know. I don't know if they are. I really don't.
Maybe the fins do happen, but it's Moraine who goes through the fin doorway.
Maybe. That would make more sense. Not more sense, but like seeing that for Moraine and then knowing what will probably happen to her, I think it will give us like, since she's more of the main character in this than she was in the book, I think that makes sense for that storyline.
Okay.
But I'm worried about Roydian because I'm thinking of like, I feel like I've brought this up before, but in the Harry Potter 5 movie where there's the whole scene where Harry goes back in time and sees his parents when they're young. And,
yes.
No, I'm sorry. That's not 5, is it?
6.
Oh, no, it's
No.
6. It's Half-Blood Prince.
Half-Blood Prince, yeah. That's
Okay, whatever it is, yeah. Whatever movie it is. But
that's the one where you find out his dad's a jerk.
yeah, but it was like this whole long sequence and they cast these young actors and everyone was so excited, and then like 30 seconds long. It was just like flashes of things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm worried that like the same thing could happen. Like you're not going to get every scene in Roydian and
I don't think you will either.
don't-
I don't
in
think.
the
I mean,
columns, I
it's
mean.
it's like what is it, like 2 or 3 chapters in the book, right? But I think you'll get the gist of it. You'll get. I think they need to show these are the Aiel, and as they went back in time, this is what they were, and then you get that sense.
I'd love to see the Colum Dawn like exploding. That would be cool.
Yeah, I mean,
That's in that, right? Like
Yeah.
you go all the way back.
yeah. And you get the I think you see right the Dashane Aiel all like circle in a circle singing, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
that's-
it starts off
yeah.
with peace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it ends up like before things go bad.
we're not gonna get any Truman, what's it called? Green
Oh,
Man,
Green Man.
Nim,
Oh, I
yeah.
would love to. I'm still missing.
No, you're probably gonna get like
scene in book 1.
you're probably gonna get an Aiel with Ogier, just
Yeah.
them tree singing or whatever.
Oh
Right.
yeah, that's a good point. I like
Yeah, they didn't really explain that at all. He's really
He's
like
He's a magical
He's a
creature
tree
who has
singer. I
magical
know.
powers. That's all you. What's to explain?
I know.
He sings the
he
tree
sings
grows.
in
Got
the
it.
truth. Yeah, I don't think there's much more they need to explain. I think people
Fine.
are getting that. I like that we're going to have that juxtaposition because we're getting the Tinkers again in this season, and then we'll find
Mm-hmm.
out that, spoiler alert, the Aiel were Tinkers, or
Well,
not
yeah,
were Tinkers,
I-
but they all
that-
came from the same people, and they split off. And,
Right.
Yeah.
One kept the philosophy, and the other kept whatever. I don't know. But
kept
the structure of the Shadow Rising is so great to see the juxtaposition between the Tinkers in the 2 rivers and what Rand's dealing with in the Waste. So yeah.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. We also got Raksha Hoost is going to be playing Cheyenne. So if you remember from the book, Cheyenne was a noble who was killed by Millie Skane, and then
Millie
Skane who assumed her identity. So what I'm going to say, right? So a lot of people are saying, oh, Raksha's going to be playing a dark friend, Cheyenne or whatever. And I'm saying no. I'm saying she's going to be playing Cheyenne. Then we're going to get a surprise return of our favorite dark friend, Dana, who's going to come and kill her and then assume her identity. And spoiler alert, Uzuka Hoyle's back on the show. She never died. Dana's alive. The Dark One brought her back because she was so awesome in season 1. And there we go.
That's why he brought her back. She was so awesome in season 1.
Yes.
The fans really liked you. No, I
wish it, but
Chosen get reincarnated. Run-of-the-mill failed dark friends don't. As much as she's awesome, yeah. I hope. I mean, Millie Skane is great. She's just a recurring minor, very successful villain. So yeah, I hope that this truly indicates that she's on the show. And who knows?
So,
we're probably gonna love her as much as we do Leandrin. So
yeah, and when she is Lady Cheyenne, that is
Abudar, right?
She
and
shows up
afterwards
in
Andor.
Abudar, yeah,
and
then shows up in Camelin later on. So I wonder. So this brings up something I think we've talked about. I don't think we've talked about it on the show yet. Maybe just behind the scenes, but we think there's a potential that they're going to be merging the Ibudar and Tenchiko storylines together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this would be a point. This would be a point in that corner, and there's also another casting coming up. That's also another point in that corner as well. So
yeah,
I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
I think you don't need to go to Ebudar if there's not weather problems, which they haven't been on the show, and so you don't need you can go to one city on a southern coast that's chaotic, and then the Sean should come back and take it over. You don't need to do that twice.
You think we're going to get Sean Chen returning then in this season?
Yeah,
no,
that'd be quick.
I think that
come back
at the end of the season, and they just show the same clip at the end of season 1.
Yeah.
No, I think you can set up that. I don't know how you do this, whatever, but it doesn't make a difference. You don't need to have Ebudar. Matt goes to Tenchiko later. That's it for whatever reason. Or maybe the girls don't leave at the end of the season because they don't leave Tenchiko in the Shadow Rising. They're leaving in the Fires of Heaven. That's it. They flee instead of chaos. They flee the Shanshin returning. I don't know how you get.
But then what?
I don't know. Well, if you're going to be doing, okay, here's the other thing.
Is there going to be Saladar and everything? Is that whole thing going to happen?
I think so because there's another casting that came out today that we're going to talk about a little bit that indicates the Saladar storyline, and we do believe that the Tower split is going to happen in this season. So
I mean, it has to happen. The Tower split has to happen. Obviously, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to happen, so it likely would happen in this season.
It's been set up so much better than it is in the books. So, I think it does. But yeah, I think I hate to say this because I know we spent a lot of time. If there's a complaint that we have most with season 2, it's how bad they do Matt. Not how bad Matt is portrayed, but they do him dirty. He's got nothing going on for 7 episodes, and then he has something awesome in the 8th. I don't know how. I guess if he goes to Vordian, he comes back, and season 4 is I guess season 4 he fights in Carrion and then head south. Same as he does in book 5 and 6, right? So I don't know. I think it's basically, let's put it this way. I think you don't do Ebudar, you save yourself a city. You just make it Tenchiko, even if it's not in the same time. It's just they're going to go back there, and they have all these storylines set up for that area. You don't have to have all of that stuff happen now. You just have it happen there later. It's
obviously a different point in the story and different stuff going on, but it's Nynaeve and Elaine in a city, Black Aja.
Looking for a Tirangriel.
Right. So it's the same thing.
Right. There's chaos everywhere.
Yeah. So
only
There's a
in this.
queen that is, whatever,
Yeah.
taken, captured or whatever happens to her.
I guess the big difference
Sam-
is the Shan-Chen, right? That's the big difference.
Yeah.
And is there a Forsaken? I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember. There's no Forsaken in Ibudar, though.
Mogedion is there for like a split second when she tries to kill Nynaeve.
And there is a Forsaken that shows up later on in Ebudar, but not in book 7. Right? She comes in book 9.
But yeah, there's that's like the kin and everything, though. Are they
No.
going to
that's
do
in-
that?
No.
That's in Ibudar.
Kin's out.
Kin are out.
Although I have to say this,
I'm
like,
reading that part right now. That's why I'm like trying
the
to think
Kin's
of all
out, the circus is out. Gone.
So forget the circus now. So
Although I have to say this, I can't believe how many people are excited that the Sea Folk are going to be in the next season.
Who's that? And what's wrong with you?
I don't understand
and
it. man.
how are the sea folk in the next season?
Because
They're
that's how the
gonna be
girls
Tenchiko.
get. That's how the girls get the Tenchiko.
So they get
They'll probably show up and follow
is
them, and
it?
maybe
Yes.
maybe they take the boat. Yeah, Seafall.
That's how you find out. You find out this. It's the only time the Sea
Okay,
Folk are good.
okay.
Honestly, the only time they're good in the whole
Okay.
series is the first time that they're on that boat.
okay. You're right. Yes, now I'm remembering.
Yeah, the Seafolk. Yeah, I think the Seafolk is just going to be an afterthought and just a transportation. They'll be the Uber of the Wheel of Time, and that's hopefully all we'll get of them. The other actor, Nuno Lopez, is unnamed. We don't know who he's playing yet. He's a Portuguese actor. He's won Best Actor Award in the Venice Film Festival for his role in St. George. And I believe we found out that he is somewhat of a musician.
Yeah, not only a DJ, but he can play the guitar and sing
Yes,
a little
he's
bit.
a DJ. That's right. He's a DJ. Yes.
Yeah, so I think there's, I mean, whatever. I don't know if they're trying to throw hints or it's just wishful thinking, but Watt series or some of the members of Watt series have thrown out like a possible, this is a possible Asmodean, like the vibe. They haven't named it at all, but they've thrown it as a possible vibe. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. He was. They reported that he was filming in Prague in mid-May for about a month. So that's
Okay.
early on. That's mid-May, right? They started filming in April, so this is early on. He was there.
Yeah, but Prague is also probably a lot of set work, you know? If he's
Yeah.
also on location wherever the waste is, that's your lock there for, well, not your lock, but that's your stronger hint that he's a Asmodean.
Yeah. So I
I
guess.
wonder, like, I don't think they're gonna be filming a lot, like outside. Like, they didn't have tents when they were like traveling, right? Oh no, they did. The Aiel.
Yeah, they have
sleep
tents.
in okay, they did. I feel like they'll do a lot of stuff in like tents. Not gonna make these people be outside in the desert like all the time.
No,
They'll do some stuff, but like some stuff will probably be indoors and like
Yeah, it'll be on a
on, like,
soundstage.
sets and yeah.
Which I don't know. It could be. I don't know if that's going to be back in Prague in Jordan Studios or there's going to be.
Yeah.
We don't know
It
where the
will be.
waste is going to be yet, right? We don't know. I'm trying to remember now.
No, we don't have a definite.
We know
Location.
that right there was. I think there's a report, and I don't have it here, that they're going to be filming in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know exactly yet, or we don't know yet, where I think the waste is going to be filmed. I mean, Morocco would make a good place, but I don't know if they want to. They're going to start getting people confused because they're going to film in another desert and be like, no, this is a different desert.
Well,
Well, it is.
No, I
It is.
know,
There's
but,
more than one desert in the world.
well, in the Wheel of Time, there
So they have
isn't,
different
so,
locations.
yeah.
I mean, we thought the 3 different locations in deserts for season 2. We thought one of them might be the Aiel waste, and it turns out not to be. So, you know, it could be like that one area in California that was every desert in every Western for like 20 years. And it was also where like Kirk fights Gorn in Star Trek, the original series.
Are they going back to Italy to film? Because I mean, they could do some filming, right? They filmed all those spaghetti westerns in Sicily,
That's true.
right? No,
That's
they
true.
could go to Italy and do some filming there, and that could be the waste. I mean,
Right? I think Italy's Arafel, but yeah, right. I think that's ended up being where.
Well, Italy was where they filmed. Was Kyrie Ann in Italy?
No, I think
Where
Arafel
did they-
was in Italy.
No, I mean in the show. Oh, I'm sorry, Arafel.
yeah,
Yes.
the well.
But weren't some other people in Italy that, like, wasn't
Yeah.
Madeline in Italy?
Yeah, I don't know if.
Well, they
yes.
also said I think they took some vacation time there.
Yeah, they
maybe.
might have just went just to like Tom
Okay.
said, vacation. But you're right, a bunch of other people were there too. But I think what do they call it? Tiffin's Well, right? Tiffin's Well, and and then wherever Alana did they do that for Arafel as well? They might have used both for that. So So
Tiffin's Well is where Varen lived.
Yeah.
Yes, Varen and Adelius or Adelius. So we have some more casting news. This is fresh off this week's, it might have been even today. Was it today or yesterday?
Today.
Redanian Intelligence tweeted out that Rebecca Root has been cast in the Wheel of Time Season 3 as Lelaine Akashi. And then there was a follow-up article from Watt Series reporting that Rebecca's CV has her listed as Keeper of the Chronicles, Lelaine Akashi. So that's really interesting. Because we already have a Keeper of the Chronicles, Leane, Jennifer Cheon Garcia. So
how long?
What does this mean? What's going on? Spoilers. Changes.
Yeah, there was no Amerlin and no Keeper when the tower split, like for the rebels until Egwene.
Yeah.
So it's not unless and
she is not the keeper for Egwene.
No, I know, but maybe they're just gonna like have their own now when the tower splits, and like Swan and Liane possibly go missing or not alive anymore.
Maybe.
So they're just like,
is this saying she's going to be alive as keeper?
No, she'll be like a keeper for the rebels, and somebody else will be.
Or maybe they don't.
Amerlin.
Maybe they don't appoint an Amerlin, but they do appoint a keeper.
They're going to shrink down
in
like
Saladar.
The little council in Saladar who are really running things right. All the sisters, Movrin, Sheriam.
Yeah.
Who else? I can't remember the other ones now off the top of my head. But
Bannon,
is it Bannon?
Carlinia, and
is it Myrelle? No,
Myrelle. Yeah,
Myrelle. Yeah, she is.
Myrelle.
Yeah. So maybe they're going to condense that, and they're just going to be like, I don't know what they're doing. They're probably just going to change it, like you said, and they're not
going to have any of those people that we just. Probably not.
They'll
maybe one or two, but
they have to. Who's going to be?
I know. Shiriam could be like maybe Shiriam decides she's going to be the Amerlin or something. Like who knows? All this is different.
Shiriam and Lelaine, but you can't if they're going to show Saladar, there's going to have to be people there that
couple more
that talk and have conversations and drive some storyline and move it forward. So we're going to probably have some of these other people.
I can't believe they even get to Saladar next season.
Well, we don't. I don't know if they're going to get this out. Like, is the end of the season going to be the tower splitting, or are they going to do that?
No, I think that's going to be. I think it's going to be. What I would do if I were them, whatever, is like that's the end of episode 3 or episode 4. Whatever.
Wow.
And the next episode is Rordian, and you don't see anything that happens to any of those people. It leaves on this crazy cliffhanger, and then you're just in the waste for an episode. And you have no idea what happens.
I just have to read something in the chat that Zul said. Egwene's test for the third arch could have Lelaine as Egwene's keeper.
That's true. I don't know if they're going back to the tower, though. I really don't think the girls are going back. It could be a dream. Maybe an Egwene dream, because there is confirmation from Rafe that the Tel'aran'rhiod is going to be explored more, the Aiel Dreamwalkers in the third season. I don't think the girls are going to go back to the tower. It's just yeah.
I don't know.
There's no time
to do that either. There's no time whatsoever. I agree with you. It's tough.
Yeah. I think the only person you're gonna Min's in the tower. She got left behind in Carrion and drinking, and I think the Aes Sedai are gonna pick her up.
Yeah, I don't know. So one other bit about this casting, listed also on her CV is director Kieran Donnelly, and he's going to be directing episodes 1, 2, 7, and 8 next season. So that doesn't really.
That makes sense. What makes
sense?
To take her. if she was to take her test in one of the earlier seasons.
It also makes
Episodes.
sense if she's in Saladar, and that's later in this, because he does the
Six.
later.
What did you say? 6 and
7 and 8.
1, 2, 7, 8.
7. That's the
It
end.
starts
So
and
I
ends
don't know.
the season.
Oh man,
Oh
is a-
boy.
tough one.
Yeah. Don't know. Interesting thoughts, though. We'll tackle this in 2 years, when we get closer to the
Stop
release
it.
of the new season.
So are they going to be 2 more years?
I don't think it's
Yeah,
going to be 2 more years, but I do think it's probably going to be 25 before the next season comes out.
Yeah. We'll talk about a little bit more about that next week when we cover some of the other news that came out. I have one more casting that I wanted to talk about. This also was released today. A friend of the show, John, released a video on his What Up YouTube channel revealing actor Jared Dorick will be playing Jacob Carradine in season 3.
Ooh.
John, you sly dog, you. Where did you get this from? So Jared Dorick was in Carnival Row. He's another Carnival Row alum. Come over to the Wheel of Time. Jacob Carradine. This was my other character that kind of hints that a combination perhaps of Tenchiko and Ibudar, because Jacob Carradine shows up, I think, in Ibudar. I mean, he shows up in The Great Hunt.
Yes, he does.
Well, he's in both of those. He's in both of those cities. He's taken
Is
over
he
the
in
Panarch
Tenchiko?
Palace in Tenchiko.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Thank you,
And
Thomas.
in Abu Dar, he's like more of a lapdog at that point. And John actually talks about this in his video, which I recommend watching. If you
Tries
haven't
to
seen it yet.
kidnap Elaine.
Another, and Samael also appears in Ibudar. He
Does he?
comes to talk to Jacob Carradine, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
He doesn't, I'm not sure if he's definitely in a scene with Jacob Carradine.
Yes.
Yeah, he tells him to kill Rand, right?
Yes, he's supposed to kill Rand. He's supposed to the White Cloaks want him to kidnap Elaine, and
Yeah,
he's
Niall
also
wants
no. The Fade tells him to kill Rand.
Oh, to kill Rand, yeah.
The Samuel tells him to
Yes.
find the Terangriel that are there, and the Angriel and Sangriel, and Pedro Nile tells him to kidnap Elaine.
And Samael is the one that lets the golem out, right?
Yes, believe so. He finds him in the stasis box.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes, the golem. Yeah, this is interesting. Jacob Carradine was a character we thought potentially would be cut or combined with Valda. So I want to ask this question, right? In the first episode of season 2, the Dark Friends Social, we see a white cloak there. In the books, that's Bors, who is Jacob Carradine. We learn later on in the book. Is he the guy? Is he the one who was there at the Dark Friend Social in the show? Are they going to make the connection?
Sure.
Good answer.
Yeah, I think I don't want any of the White Cloaks that we've already met to be Dark Friends. I think Valdo works much better as just a shitty human than someone who's sworn himself to evil. But that's me.
They could just let it. Yeah, I think he's going to be a Dark Friend. I guess the question I was kind of getting at was, do they connect him to the White Cloak at the Dark Friend Social, though?
Yeah.
Are we going to get an indication?
I think you could find that
we-
out. Like you could have Thane giving him directions instead, and like, I know you were there. I was next to you. Whatever. I saw your
Our knees
Sig-
touched.
right. Sometimes when we touch, the honesty. Sorry. Anyway,
I guess I want to ask this question, but it has nothing to do with this, though.
Do
At
it.
the Dark Friend Social, there was a Shannara in there, and I think we talked it right. Originally, we were like, oh, this is Ingtar, but they never followed through with that story, and they just mentioned that there was another Shannara the one who let the Fades in. Are we to believe then, I guess, that that's the Shannara who was there at the Dark Friend Social? It was just that dead Shannara.
In the show that we
Yes.
saw,
Yeah, in the
it
show.
was, but I believe that there was a deleted scene
right. That
where
Ingtar
Ingtar was a
reveals.
dark friend. So, like,
Let's cut out a
technically
really...
it's Ingtar, but in the show that was presented to us, it's not.
I didn't know there was a deleted scene with Ingtar
Yeah, I
being
thought Rafe
revealed.
said it,
Yeah, he did.
and he wants to. Hopefully, we'll see it someday or something.
Let's
like that.
cut a scene where there's a really interesting reveal and a twist. So
I
we
think
can...
that they felt it was pacing.
like
Well,
doing
the pacing wasn't really
think
good
back
in
at the show
episode 8,
though.
so,
Like
so they
we're
failed.
expecting it and waiting for it, but like to the
It's there.
average viewer, like
They had to cut
it is there
yeah.
in the more in the beginning, but the end, like I don't know. I don't feel like we have enough time with Ingtar for it to really was a bit like a lot of people probably don't even remember what his name is.
Yeah, I agree. They
You know,
did. They
it's just
probably
like
don't.
oh, that sucks.
It's
They
eyeliner.
realized they realized they didn't do a good job of building it up.
Yeah, they didn't. Like they had. I mean, they laid the groundwork in episode 1, where he had that conversation with Perrin when they were burying the Dark Friend.
I know.
I wouldn't be
and
surprised if other scenes with him got trimmed over the course of the season,
maybe
just for time.
Like the whole side quest where they get the horn.
No,
of the
that
Lear.
was definitely never in it. I don't think, but like probably other scenes.
I thought that was funny actually.
Yeah.
Now, like, hey, we got it. Oh, okay, good.
Right. It's like
I want to like.
Cool.
It's like,
I
it's like
wanna
in the
cut
Big
all
Trouble in
of
Little
their-
China. Hey, how'd you get up there? Wasn't easy. That's all.
Well-
That's all you get.
Oh, that's so much better. Yeah, this is going to be interesting with Jacob Carradine and how they'll use him. We still don't have any indication if Pedro Nile's going to be in this show. I would hope we get to meet him, and are we going to get that whole White Cloak assassination line Valda? I mean, you got Valda pretty prominent in the show. It'd be great if he takes over and becomes the Lord Captain Commander, and then we can maybe get the Galad story. But then I don't know how like Galad is involved in that now, because you're probably cutting in the entire Morgase storyline. So
Oh boy.
yeah,
I think
don't know.
you can do. Frankly, you could probably introduce Galad and like, I'm leaving to join the White Cloaks, mother, whatever. But like, Nile doesn't show up until book 5, I think, right? He doesn't show up until.
I don't remember.
No, he
Yeah, I think-
shows up in the Dragon. He shows up early on. Doesn't he show up after the Great Hunt, because Bayer goes
Does
back
he?
and yeah,
I
think
don't
they
know.
go to
I
the
didn't
Fortress
remember
of
him
All-
talking to him. I just remember him. I thought he was addressed, but okay, I'm getting told that
I
you're
think
right.
he shows up in the Fortress of the
I
Light. They go to the Fortress of the Light, I think, in the 3rd book.
Okay.
Is that when he goes? Is it Bayer? Oh no, not Bayer. It's Carradine who goes back to his room, and then the fate is waiting for him and tells him he's going to kill his whole family. What book is that?
Yeah.
That's,
Yes, that might.
that's the Dragon Reborn.
Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the
Yeah,
Dragon
okay.
Reborn.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, the prologue. Yeah, we're getting prologue of Dragon Reborn.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know we meet him somewhat early on, and then they just kind of go back to him every once in a while, and then, there's that
Yeah,
whole
he gets
storyline.
involved in Morgase's storyline pretty heavily, and then he gets
Kills
Seven
Valda
Balor
Stepson.
out of that.
Yeah, you get the
Oh,
whole
Seven-
Balor.
I hope Seven Balor makes the show.
Yeah, I want to see what's his name plays Seven Balor. Michael, what's his name?
I don't
Guy
know.
the guy who was
Michael,
in
that narrows it down.
no, he was in
McKeon.
no, he was in House of
I would-
Cards. He was in The Dawn of the Dead. Somebody help me out here.
Nope.
Dawn of the Dead and House of Cards and Michael. Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I know who you mean. The main
What?
guy. The main guy in Dawn of the Dead, right? Like the main guy.
That's Jake. What's his name?
Michael
Oh.
Kelly.
Michael Kelly.
someone
Thank
saying?
you. Yes,
He's
Michael
Dawn of
Kelly.
the Dead?
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's the security guard. He's like the jerk off security guard.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's
I don't
exactly
know him.
he is
He has hair
exactly
in
what
that,
Seven
though, that's
Balor
why.
looks. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's,
Somebody post a picture of him in chat.
he's,
Well, because
he's on Jack Ryan right now. He's on another Amazon show.
He's because
Oh,
he's
it's good.
he's
It's
kind
good.
of he's kind of that character in House of Cards. He's his chief of staff. He's like the guy who does a lot of Kevin Spacey's dirty work. So he's like already played that character. He would be perfect though. He's also looks like how I pictured Seven Balor. So
He does. He does. He's like so pencil thin,
with the bald head and
Oh, okay. I
yeah.
know this guy.
He was
Yeah.
just eating Portuguese food with other members of Amazon shows on
That's right.
video.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, he's on Jack Ryan.
It was Brazilian food. It was when they
Brazilian
were in
food.
Brazil for
Ew,
that.
yeah, he
for
would be
that
the
event.
grossest Seven Balor.
No, he's not a gross guy though.
No, just like creepy.
I feel like
Must
Seven
have got like
Balor,
a-
even though he secretly, like, I think likes working for a good guy at the end, is pretty creepy.
He is kind of a creepy dude. But he's a cool creepy.
I like Seven Balor a lot. I do hope he's on the show. That's all.
Yeah.
What were we talking
He's-
about again? I
He's
don't
an amoral character, I
Jacob
think.
Carradine.
He's a neutral character. He's lawful neutral, maybe, or
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. But I do think he enjoys working for somebody who actually does good things. I think he likes working for Perrin.
Yeah, and I mean, I will say Pedro Nile was kind of good. Like his intentions were good.
Yes, his intentions were good. He was so misguided.
Yes. And I think Bauer admired his, I guess, goals and beliefs and morals or whatnot. But yeah, he just likes being a useful person and helping out his master. All right, so that's our casting news. That was a lot to get through. So we wanted to go back and look at some of the unconfirmed castings that we had made predictions on a while back before season 2 to check how we did with our guesses and see if we got any of them right. I think we went through a few of these in some other episodes, but we're going to go through all of them. There's about 30 of them. We'll go through them quick, though. So we don't spend a lot of time because there's really not too much to talk about. And I'll go in alphabetical order. So the first one was Adrian Boucher. Jen and I had him cast as Ruark, Tom as Bale. All wrong. He was Arthur Hawkwing.
Of course. Are you going to keep track of our wins here?
If there's any correct, I'll be surprised.
You want me to do it?
I have it all here.
You got it?
My list. You can, if you want to tally them up, Jen, that's fine.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
I'll tally.
Next up, we have Bentley Kalu. I had him as a Sean Chin General. Jen had him as Gareth Bryn. And Tom had an Ogier Gardner. I will say at least Tom and I had Sean Chin who were in there. Gareth Bryn, not even close to being in the show. But he played Basan. He was Rima's warder.
Yeah.
So none of us even came close to that one. I guess he was in Falm with Sean Chen, so
it's true.
That makes us close. I don't know. Not even close.
Geographically closer, I guess.
Geographically closer, if that counts. All right, next up we have Dara O'Toole, who played, as Jen called him, Johnny Dickhead. He played Jan.
Oh my God.
I had him as Jarrett Byer. Jen had him as Nameless Warder, and Tom had him as Gray Man.
I think I'm closest there, honestly.
Nobody's getting any points right now. It's 0-0. We're tied.
We're gonna get some points here. Elena Fokina. Okay. Now she was listed as a Soldam, so I think that was something that we had ahead of time, potentially. She played as I called her, the pretzel Soldam, the one that Rima broke her bones.
Oh my God.
And we all had her listed as random Soldam. So
all right, there you go.
So there we go. We all get that one right. Go us.
Tied for last place.
To be fair, we already kind of knew she was a Soldam, so
that's fine.
We didn't really go.
Nobody wrote pretzel Soldam.
No one wrote pretzel Soldam though, so I guess we get half points. Haley Mills.
I was wrong about Haley Mills until the episode she appeared. I wanted to say.
Well, you were half right about Haley Mills.
Yeah,
so Jen and I had her as Adelius Van Dien. Tom had her as Flashback Grandma.
I'm giving it to him.
She was in no, she was not a grandma guitar. She played guitar Amoroso. She was in a flashback.
She can't have that. She wasn't. I'll give it to him.
No, he gets half a point because he got the flashback.
Okay, half.
I thought she was a Carrie Ann Noble up until she showed up as Guitar Amoroso.
We thought she was the queen.
I thought she was the queen.
Yeah. We thought she was the queen of Carrie Ann. Oh, she's gonna be on next week as the queen of Carrie Ann. We never see.
You got the flashback. You got the flashback
right,
part right. Half a point for the flashback part. All right. I don't know what color. I'm color coding these, and I guess I'll give you a yellow for getting it half right. All right. Next up, Jay Duffy. Tom and I had Jay Duffy playing Galad. Jen, you had Gowan. Didn't get any of that at all.
Oh, man.
We were obsessed with the fact that Gowan was going to be in season 2. Like, all of us had big Gowan storylines.
There was an audition script that was found.
In our recaps.
I guess it was for season 3.
I guess so. Or they just went, no.
Jay Duffy is Dane Bornhold, everybody. Dane Bornhold.
We hate Gowan so much, we don't even want this in there. Forget it.
Yeah, we don't want Jay Duffy to play.
Not worth it.
Dane Bornhold is better than
Dane Bornhold is the best. And completely justified in his hatred.
Yeah.
Now
he was really
is,
good.
yeah.
I enjoyed his character. I'm
too.
looking forward to seeing more of him in the next season. So
As he reacts completely appropriately.
Yes.
I love how Brendan is like spot on with
Yeah.
what's going to happen next with that storyline.
Yeah, yes. Although it wasn't. We got to talk about that at some other point of what's going to happen to Parrot's family actually, like in the show, because in the books
They don't even mention his family.
it's Fane who kills
Right?
them.
No, but they don't even. Does he have a family?
Yeah, I'm sure he has a family. They don't really. You're right. They don't mention it though in the show.
Oh yeah, actually, wait. Does Perrin say like my parents will look in on the girls?
Yeah.
Yes.
When
yes.
Perrin and Matt are having that conversation, that's the
Yes.
only mention of like him having a family,
Yes.
or him never like telling them he's leaving or anything like that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right. Next up, we have Jessica Boone. Jen and Tom had her as a Guinan, and I had her as Random Blood.
So close. Ah, she's not blood.
Red blood.
We're both. I think we should all get a.
Well, she's definitely not a Guinan or anyone.
All right, I know she's a Shaunchen. You want a half, Joe?
I want a half a point for Alwyn. She's the voice of High Lady
right.
Sorath. So she is blood, right? The voices are technically blood.
I don't think so, but
Are they
You can
lower
have it.
blood?
you can have a half.
Lower blood.
Lower blood?
I'm getting a lower blood.
Blood.
I think that raises to no. Oh, we're getting a.
Yeah.
No,
their property.
I think they're a high level da Cavalli. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I would give you
We
half,
have to-
Joe. I'll allow it since I'm losing anyway.
We're looking this up. We're getting the research
Jin.
team on this to look it up. Well, they are a slave. Yeah, they are a slave.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
should I erase that half?
Well, I mean, I'm going by the wiki.
Yes, I don't think that
Some
they're
of them could be
blood.
elevated to the bloods.
They
Okay,
can
you
be-
get nothing. You get nothing, Joe. Let's keep going.
I think some of them could be raised to the blood, though. But okay, fine. I'll get no points for that one. All right. Jonathan Hawkins was set to be Brian. At least that's what he was reported to play. I had him listed as Brian the White Cloak. Jen had him not in the show, and Tom had him as Brian the Ogier. He played Nynaeve's father,
Oh.
not Brian.
Berian.
Berian, yeah.
Berian. So they just
Berian?
left out the E's.
Yeah.
Ah, how
Yeah.
frustrating.
Brian the Ogier. I would have loved to meet him.
Yeah,
All right,
I was
next-
very much on. They were going to a setting in this season. That did not happen.
Did not happen.
They had
I-
to heal Loyal.
I bet
Also-
we never see a
Horrible
static
stab wound.
in the entire show. Karima McAdams, we all had her as High Lady Surath. So we all
Woo!
get a win on that one. Go us.
Mhm.
Katie Leung, she was listed as Yasuka, and we all said she was Yasuka. So I guess we were right
Points all around.
because she was Yasuka of the Brown Aja, part of the Brown Aja investigator team.
Encyclopedia Brown.
Encyclopedia Brown Aja. All right, here we go. Leia Costa. Jen and I had her as Mogedion. Tom had her as a
Woo!
noble. Jen and I get the point. Tom,
Man,
unfortunately, no. Mogedion, we got it. We knew that Magdalena was code for Mogedion.
We hoped.
Okay, next up, Laura Crowhurst. Tom and I had her as Laris. I guess we were going to be going to. I mean, there was potential there. We did get scenes in the tower and in the kitchen,
Yeah.
so she could have been there, but not happening. Jen, you had her as an innkeeper. We were all wrong. She was a stable master or a stable lady.
Wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute. She was in the. Oh, an innkeeper.
She was not.
She
an
was where they got
innkeeper.
the horses, where Belring killed the horse.
Yes, she didn't.
yeah,
get
she's the one who gets
head-
her mouth sewn up like Neo.
Yeah,
All right. She's not the innkeeper.
She's a stable
I
master.
guess. All right.
she's listed in IMDb as stable master. So.
fine.
So that's nobody gets that. Lily Banda, she was, let's see, I had her as Rena. I was kind of close. She was a Soldam. She was the Dare Soldam. Jen, you had her as a Damane, and Tom, you had her as Melaine, the Aiel.
Yeah.
Oh, she was
Yeah.
a Soldam.
She was the Dare Soldam. She was that head
Yeah.
Soldam.
Ugh.
Drill sergeant. Yeah, so I whiffed.
All right.
Rao was saying in chat that a stable master, a stable is an inn for horses, so she could be.
I appreciate the support after I made fun of your wolf postings for the entire show last week.
Okay, next up we have Lubna Kerr, who all of us had as an Aes Sedai. She was not an Aes Sedai. She was part of Alana's family when they went to Alana's house.
I thought
She was like
somebody
a,
else.
I don't know, cousin, aunt, sister. I don't think they had.
She was a sister.
Oh, she was one of Alana's sisters. Okay.
Oh. No, I'm saying we should get points because she was a sister.
Oh.
No. I'm making that up, though. I have no idea who she is.
I don't think so.
Oh, well.
Next up, we have Maya Simonson. I had her as a Kyrian and Noble. Jen had her as Lanfear. And Tom was the closest. He said Bane. So close, Tom. So close. She was Chiad.
They're interchangeable.
Not for the purposes of this.
No.
Sorry.
No.
I think I should get a half point.
No.
I'm not even kidding. They're the same.
No, they're not the same.
Not. You should have said Bane or Chiad.
Jen, which one is which?
Rhaegar Ragnar's is Bane, and Maya Simonson is Chiad.
Which one likes Skull?
Chiad.
Are you right? I don't know.
Yes,
She's
I
right,
am
yes.
right.
Bane is the one.
My point is
Yes.
that they're whatever. Fine. I guess
That
I'm
is
losing
right.
this argument, but
You're not getting the half point.
all
now.
right,
Nope,
that's
points.
fine.
No soup for you. Come back one year. Next up, we have Marie France Alvarez, who was cast and listed as Celestine. We all just said Celestine. We had no. I think we were all getting at Celestine the Aes Sedai because
Yeah.
in the books it's
We'll
Celestine
still
the Aes Sedai.
We're getting the point.
But she's not an Aes.
I don't even know who Celestine is in the show.
Did we say Celestine?
She's
She works
the-
in the sanatorium.
Yeah, she's like the head woman at the sanatorium, the one that Moraine talks to and Rand talks to, and
Yeah, we didn't say Celestine the Aes Sedai.
no, we didn't, I guess. But we,
Who cares?
I think we did because in the book she's an Aes Sedai of the Yellow Ajah, and we all said she's gonna just play her.
Well, I already marked the points down. So
Well, it
it's
doesn't
okay.
matter.
We're
We all picked the same thing, so it's not going to affect the score anyway. All right, next up we have Mira Sayal. I got this wrong. I had Shiriam. The both of you have Varen, so congrats to the two of you for that one. I had to be different. Melissa James.
I believe you actually just did that to be different too. Yeah.
I did do two different. Melissa James was listed as Elnor Snur. We all had her correctly guessed as Nynaeve's mother.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Michael Amaraya. He was listed as a Gleeman, and we all agreed and said he was be a random Gleeman, so we got
Who
that
was he?
right.
The guy in the foregate?
Yes,
Yeah,
he's the one
totally.
telling the hunt. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next up, Natasha J. Henry. I had her as Dalen the Aiel. No. Jen, you had her as
No.
Rena. No.
No.
Tom, you had her as an accepted. No.
No.
She played one of Alana's family. I think she might be listed as Alana's cousin.
Hmm.
I think she's the one who says, isn't she the one who says,
Yes.
where does the third one go now?
Yeah.
Yes. She had a great line, delivered it perfectly. We love you,
Yes.
Natasha. All right. Next up, we have another Natasha O'Keefe. Jen and I correctly guessed Lanfear. No, Tom and I correctly
Sorry.
guessed
Oh.
Lanfear. Jen
Okay.
incorrectly guessed Elida.
Yes, I was like, I knew she was Lanfear as soon as we found out she was on the show.
Yes, we know.
Okay.
We have all the
Yeah, well,
recordings. We already went through that, Tom. All right.
I know.
You want to play them again? You want to go back? You need to hear those?
No, I'm still annoyed that I'm not getting a half a point for Bane and Chiad.
Oh my God.
We outvoted you. No points for you.
I know. I
Next
be
up-
annoyed.
Next up, we had Rachel Denning. She was Naomi, the other part of the Encyclopedia Brown Aja. I had her as an angry gambler. Jen, you had her as a soldam, and Tom, you had a merchant in Falm.
Oh boy.
No,
All we had to say was Aes Sedai.
yeah. We
Who'd
probably,
had it?
if we said that for every one of these, we would have
I
gotten a lot of
know.
points, probably. There's just so many damn Aes Sedai. Rhaegar Ragnar's, we all had her as Brigida. Bane, Tom. She's Bane.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah. She did fire a bow a lot, though, Tom. You want a half a point for that?
No.
You sure? We can give you half a point. She fired a bow a lot.
No,
Like
I think
Brigida.
I think that you're mocking my very, very valid stance that Bane and Chiad are inexorably linked in the series.
We didn't say they weren't linked, but they're not the same
They
person.
are, but they're not the same person.
I don't think they're the same person. I'm asking for a full point.
Oh.
Just because they're
I
linked.
wanted to give you you got the half point for Flashback Grandma.
I don't want that
Okay.
one. I want it for this one.
Okay, Tom, Jen,
Okay,
let's
all right.
just put it down as
fine.
that's what we really
Yeah,
know
okay.
that that's not the case.
Okay, fine. Fine. You got it, Tom, okay?
You got it, Tom.
Fine.
Put that in the notes.
We'll put a little asterisk by that one.
Yeah, okay.
Next up, we have Raquel Cipriano. I had her as No Line Novice. Jen had her as, quote, that's novice. And Tom had her as novice spanked by Shiriam. I think that's what we'll all get a half a point because she is a novice.
Who is she?
She's the one, I think, who has the laundry basket and tells Egwene that Nynaeve's not in her room or vice versa. Oh, no, Leandrin. She says Nynaeve's going to knock on Leandrin's door, and she says Leandrin's
That sounds
not
like
there.
an exposition novice, which is what mine was.
No, she doesn't say that's whatever. She just says Leandrin's
okay.
not. She's like Leandrin Shaddai isn't in her room or something.
Okay,
like
so
that.
everyone gets a half for that?
Yeah, we were all right
Okay.
about the novice part, but the circumstances around her noviceness
Okay,
was
fine.
wrong. Next up, we have Rima Tewiata. I had her as Bear. Jen, you had her as Shiriam. Point for you. Tom had her as Anaya. Close, Tom. She wasn't nice to die. Do you want a half point? They're sisters.
Stop it.
I'm not even going to dignify that.
You were about to dignify it. Sally Saleh.
No, I was...
Sally Saleh. We had her as,
Saleh.
because she was listed as Else Treehill or Elsa Treehill.
Not on the show. They removed it.
They changed that as everything around Else Grinwell keeps getting changed. Because we
They're
all had her
saving it.
listed as, they're really saving the Else. We had
Just
her
in case.
all as an Else Nicola combination. I don't know. Do we get no points for this, I guess?
No.
Yeah.
She's just a novice.
Okay. Not even in the captioning did they put a name
No,
by her. I don't think.
nothing.
All right, Stuart Kenneth Moore. I have him helping Matt escape Tar Valon. Not true. Jen, you had her part of the Egwene capture. Not true. And Tom, you had him as a Murdral. Not true. He was
Also not true.
stable master who got his head exploded.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That was
a tough one.
Had that. Nobody predicted that one.
Well, he did say he was in a fairly memorable episode 5 scene. Fairly memorable now that
yeah,
we've
'cause his
seen
head
it
explodes.
because his head
Right.
explodes. We were all thinking like, oh, from the books, something memorable from the
Yeah.
books. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Not at all.
Nobody cares about the books. We should know that by now.
Vincent Kirschbaum. He was listed as Sun Palace servant. We all guessed it. Sun Palace servants. Sun Palace servant. Tom, you said flashback Sun Palace servant, but we can give you.
No.
We probably
Wait,
should only
is
give you.
he-
No, I should get no
he's,
points for
he's
that.
in the Swan episode?
He's the one of the servants who I think Anvir talks to when she goes to visit Barthanas.
She's the
the
guy
servant.
that like
He's the
Oh, and he locked him up?
he's the yeah, he's like the soldier or whatever.
Okay, so me and you get it? Is that what you're saying?
I think we give Tom half a point because he got the Sun Palace servant part right.
Because he said flashback.
He said
Sun Palace
flashback.
servant?
He wasn't a flashback Sun Palace servant though. So half a point for that, Tom.
Okay. So half a point, and we both get 1 point?
Yeah, full points.
Okay.
And then
Make
finally,
sure I'm doing it right. Oh,
Zil-
no, this is coming down to the wire.
Zelia Mendez Jones, who we all got wrong. I had her as I also put her as Mogedian. I don't know. I guess I put two Mogedians. Jen, you had her as Bane or Chiad, and Tom, you had her as Chiad. There you go, Tom. You picked someone else to be Chiad. So clearly
See,
they're two
Tom,
different
Bane
people.
or Chiad. That's what you're supposed to do.
You clearly differentiated them in the guesses because you guessed her as Chiad. So
well, they're two people, Joe.
yes.
They're just always whatever.
All right, I think hopefully I've tallied this correctly,
think
but
Jen
it
might
looks
have
like
won.
the winner by 1 point is me with 10.5. Joe and Tom tie for second with 9.5.
Yay, Jen. I don't know. You win.
Thank you.
I don't know. You
Out
win.
of 50 characters, I got 10 right?
There were
Is it 51?
29 characters.
Oh, did you say 51 when we started?
No, I never said 51 at all during this episode.
check the tapes. I'm pretty sure he said 51.
You're talking about like how many Heinz flavors? There's only 6 off. Then.
Oh, we're gonna go back.
No,
Somebody rewind this.
I said around 30, but there was 29.
Okay. Anyway, I win by a point.
Congratulations, Jen.
I almost had a third. We got about a third of them right, so that's not bad.
That's
and
not
a couple
bad.
of them we already knew who they were. We just wrote it down.
Yeah, we had the information already, so. But it didn't matter. Well, if you take those out, then maybe you lost. Who knows? But we won't do that. So congratulations, Jen.
Thank you.
You are
Thank
our
you.
winner
Thank
for
you.
this. I don't know, of our respect and hearts for at least the next week or
I'll
so.
take it. I'll
All right.
take it. Okay.
It's a good time. I think we should wrap it up.
Sure.
Jen, do we have any new patrons to thank?
We do, Joe. Joining the Illuminators Guild, we have John Doe. So if you're out there, John Doe, thank you very much for your support and for all of our patrons. We love you. Thank you very much.
So creepy, but thank you, John Doe.
Yeah, thanks, John Doe. I apologize for any of the 7 deadly sins I exhibited over the course of this episode.
Kevin Spacey comes up once again. I want to remind everyone to follow us on social media. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Join us over in Discord to continue the conversation there. We also post our episodes on YouTube, so like and subscribe our YouTube page. Rate and review us wherever you listen to podcasts, and check out our merchandise and Patreon pages to support us that way. Links to all the aforementioned information are included in the show notes to this episode. Jen, Tom, any last thoughts before we wrap up?
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Ooh, yes. Be safe.
Enjoy your Tuesday and be safe.
Be careful for the razor blades in the apples.
Yeah. Let your parents check all your candy before you eat any of it.
For razor blades.
Okay? For razor blades and drugs.
Hypodermic needles.
Anyway, Tom.
The kind of candy you can smoke out of a pipe.
Hot candy. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, happy Halloween. Happy birthday to my son, who's the day after Halloween.
Oh, yes. Happy birthday. And what a time, my damies.
Salute.
Thanks, everyone, for listening, and you'll hear us next time.